The all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra is here, and there is a lot to cover, from the facelift that it got, all new powertrains, and the multiple trim packages available. Now, before I jump into this news piece, make sure that you like and subscribe for other content like this, as well as other product videos and install videos right here on extremeterrain.com. But enough about that. Let's jump right into it. So as you all are probably familiar with, we have not seen a total redesign of the Tundra within the last 15 years of the Tundra being out. There's only been 2 versions of this truck, and I'm very happy to say that just recently we have gotten the 3rd redesign of the full-size pickup truck, and Toyota definitely did it right. Now, this has been a long-awaited redesign, and at first glance, I am definitely impressed with it. Now, first and foremost, the front fascia and the overall body is going to be completely different from the previous generation, with an obvious yet well-designed modernized touch. Now, the truck is going to come with 6 different trim levels, including the SR, the SR5, the Limited, the Platinum, the 1794 edition, and of course the fan favorite, which is the Trd Pro model. All these models will boast an all-new 3.4-liter twin turbocharged V6, pushing out 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque that will leave that V8 that only pushed out about 401 pound-feet of torque in the past. Now, what is incredibly notable about this release is that Toyota will also be offering a hybrid powertrain that is an option, but it comes standard in the Trd Pro and will flaunt 437 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 583 pound-feet of torque at 2,400 RPM, making it a big competitor to the domestic trucks available in its class. Now, when it comes to the hybrid model, this version of the V6 is called the iForce Max and will come in the Trd Pro as a standard, like I mentioned before. Now, it has a low-speed EV mode that uses a 1.5 kilowatt battery-powered electric motor, in addition to the twin-turbo 3.4-liter and the 10-speed automatic that you get in that truck. Now, the hybrid won't be available until a few months after the release. However, it is still impressive that Toyota is offering a hybrid model at all in a full-size pickup truck, especially when it comes standard in the Trd Pro models. Now, the hybrid option is slated to beat 25 miles per gallon, which is impressive again for a full-size pickup truck, but according to Toyota, this has not been officially announced yet as far as a determined MPG. Now, the Tundra is on par with the powertrain options in 2022, but I will say, in comparison to its competitors, the Tundra is not going to be as heavy-duty when it comes to towing. However, it's still going to tow 1,800 more pounds than the previous generation, coming in at a whopping 12,000 pound tow capacity. Now, when looking at the previous models, I think that is definitely a win, especially when paired with all of the other features available with this truck. The max payload is rated at 1,940 pounds, but this is also going to have 360-degree cameras to help out with towing, and is also going to have integrated trailer brakes with blind spot protection, which is extremely useful if you know anything about towing. Now, a heavy-duty powertrain needs a heavy-duty chassis, so the Tundra is going to have the all-new and improved TNGA-F body-on-frame platform, and the truck will offer upgraded features that will trump its predecessor, like coil spring rear suspension. Now, this will offer a huge upgrade from the previous leaf spring that is not efficient as a coil, with better comfort and drivability. Now, what I will say is that the new electronically controlled adaptive dampeners and the air springs on the rear axle really sets it apart from its competitors. Now, the truck can raise the suspension for low-speed off-road driving up to 18 miles per hour, or lower the suspension to make hooking up a trailer a little bit easier than the standard setup, and when lowered, this will hit a max speed of 8 miles per hour. Now, those speeds may seem a little bit low when it comes to numbers, but in off-road and towing situations, those numbers are going to give you a perfect range for what you'll be doing, which is definitely well thought out by Toyota. Now, the cab configurations are going to be pretty similar with what we've seen before, with a crew cab with the option of a 5.5 or 6.5 foot bed, and an extended cab coming with a 6.5 or 8.1 foot bed. Both will be offered in a rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive configuration, which will give you plenty of choices and suit this truck in every need. Now, of course, this will also come with all of the standard safety features like standard forward collision warnings, automated emergency braking, lane departure warning, in-lane keeping assist, and adaptive cruise control, which is always something that is great out of new model trucks or new model vehicles in general, even though it's not the most exciting of the features. Now, touching quickly on the exterior and interior of this this thing before we hop into some of the notable features out of the trim packages, this is going to really look the part when it comes to a redesign, especially from Toyota. Now, as you can see, the front fascia definitely got a facelift with a large grille out front that will have the Toyota logo stamped right in the middle. However, I do like that on the Trd Pro, which I'll cover in just a minute in detail, will spell out Toyota, giving a little bit of homage to their brand from the old models that we've seen a long time ago from Toyota. Now, it is going to have a full redesign in the lighting, which I definitely think was needed from the predecessors, and a lot of you will agree with me with that. It's going to have a new sleek shape in the headlight, and the LED models will incorporate projector style lenses, sequential turn signals, and light bar daytime running lights, which is only going to add to that modernized look to the front end. Now, moving away from the front to the side and the back are going to have incredibly sleek body lines, giving this thing some class in addition to its heavy duty feel. Now, the back will integrate more LEDs and an incredibly easy to use tailgate, while even incorporating a retractable step for easier bed access that is actuated with the opening and closing of the tailgate. Now, overall, the styling of this truck is very well done in my opinion, while still keeping that Toyota feel. Not only is the exterior, however, going to have a complete redesign, but the interior will as well, with a whole new gauge system and multiple creature comforts, including a standard 8-inch touchscreen, or it can be upgraded to a massive 14-inch touchscreen that will outsize most of the full-size pickup trucks in its class. Now, of course, this is going to include wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it's also going to have a subscription-based Wi-Fi hotspot that's going to be offered by Toyota as well. Also, you are going to have a virtual assistant, and all you need to do is say, "Hey Toyota," and you'll have full access to whatever you need at your fingertips with this touchscreen display. Now, the interiors will change when you're taking a look at all of the packages side by side, but what you can see from the pictures here is that luxury is definitely not skipped out on when it comes to the 2022 Toyota Tundra. Jumping into the packages and the trim models, again, with the Tundra, we will be seeing 6 versions of this truck that will have add-on options. Now, starting off with the SR and the SR5, these are going to be more of the base model choices, but will have the option to upgrade to some of the TRD features. Then you're going to have the Limited and the TRD Pro options that will offer more choices when it comes to off-road features and an upgraded design. And then we're also going to have those luxury versions of this truck that are going to come in the Platinum model and the 1794 edition. Now, no pricing is actually defined yet, but there are rumors of starting at $35,000 at the SR model, and in that order that I mentioned before, it will range all the way up to about $55,000 with the 1794 model. Now, what I will say about that is that this is going to be pretty affordable when taking a look at the full-size pickup truck competitors, and I think that that's definitely a win by Toyota. Now, what I do think is really cool about this fleet is the 1794 edition, which is going to be one of the highest trim models in the lineup. Now, we have seen this with previous generation Tundras before, but this is going to be a commemoration for the founding of the Texas Ranch that's currently the site of the Toyota assembly plant in San Antonio, Texas. Now, this package is going to feature an all-wood trim and the 1794 badging all the way around, while also introducing a cream or brown interior. Now, this will be probably one of the most luxurious choices out of the lineup, but again, is going to pay homage to Toyota themselves. Now, the exclusivity of this trim package is nothing that we haven't seen before. Again, this is going to give a complete redesign, creating a sleeker and a more attractive setup when it comes to not only this trim package, but the rest of them as well. With all of the trim models, you are going to have some options from the TRD packages, but I think we all know that the fan favorite is the TRD Pro that is going to be tailored for off-road driving. The TRD Pro model is going to have 2.5-inch Fox shocks and dampeners with internal bypass chambers and remote reservoirs. Now, this will include the classic TRD skid plate on the front and higher ground clearance than the other models, as well as 33-inch Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires. Now, this model is going to be a little bit different on the outside in comparison to the other trim packages, but will come with that off-road and really heavy-duty styling. Now, the front grille again is going to have that large spelled out Toyota branding. It is also going to have a light bar from the factory integrated into the grille right underneath that Toyota logo. Now, when the high beams are actuated, there will be a switch pod on the inside of the cab area with an integrated light bar button that you can actuate for additional lighting. This will also have a lower accent light in each corner center of the grille, which is going to act as a daytime running light, but also give you some additional lighting while you're driving. Now, the grille will incorporate the 3 amber lights at the top that you're probably familiar with on the TRD. Those are going to be there because those are standard because of the width of the TRD Pro in comparison to the other models, coming in at over 80 inches wide. Now, staying on the topic of the styling, around the front grille, the fenders, and the rear deck lid or the rear tailgate trim, you're going to have a camo pattern on the black trim, which adds a nice off-road touch and is also going to be incorporated in the interior on the seats. Now, the seats are going to boast a bright red color with that camo incorporated on the material. They're also going to have that large Toyota branding right on the dash, and of course TRD branding all over the interior, just to remind you how badass the TRD Pro is. Now, the TRD is also going to come with a couple of different notable features that you are not going to see in some of the other base model trucks, including ventilated and heated seats. They also are going to have dual climate control, different configurations inside of the cab area when it comes to storage, and you also are going to have a fully digital cluster right behind the wheel there. Now, the TRD package is available as an option, but will be a little bit different than the TRD Pro. However, is available to add to most models, which will include 18 or 20-inch black wheels, the TRD grille, built-in shocks, skid plates, and a TRD leather shifter. There will be a TRD Sport package that is exclusive to the SR5 model, which will add, again, some TRD features like a lower ride height, TRD black wheels, and some other notable features that will up the ante when it comes to the lower trim package truck. Now, this complete redesign is really going to step up Toyota's game and be a strong competitor in comparison to the domestic models that we've seen out of the full-size truck market. Now, with all of that being said, I am definitely excited to see what this truck has to offer up close and personal, and I really want to get my hands on one of those TRD Pros and see what it can do off-road. However, that is going to wrap it up for this news piece covering the all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra. Make sure to drop a comment and let me know what you think about this new truck and if you are going to add it to your fleet at home. Now, again, make sure that you like and subscribe for other content like this, as well as other product videos and install videos right here at extremeterrain.com.